Gran Capitan, Campaigns of the Italian Wars, 1494 to 1530, Volume 2, by Europa Simulazioni, the Italian wargame company that I really like. I pre-ordered this a long time ago. In fact, so long ago that I didn't remember, but I got an email from them saying that the game was ready to be shipped out. It had been produced, and I was excited because I remembered that I had pre-ordered it. This is a system from ES that goes back several years. I actually missed Volume 1, and I forget the title of what Volume 1 was. But I think the topic is really interesting. There's not a lot of games on it. I did cover one for the channel from Compass. It was about a specific battle in the Italian Wars, and I'm struggling to remember the name right now. It was an area movement game. Boy, is it escaping me. Anyways, it wasn't very good, and it was about a specific battle of the Italian Wars. But it's a topic where there's a lot of conflict and weirdly not a lot of games on, or at least not a lot of well-known games on it. So I wanted to take a chance for a number of reasons. One, like the history. Two, the game looked amazing. ES always does really beautiful productions. And so far, of all their games that I've played, I don't really have many complaints. I think they do great stuff, do great work. I'm not sure who the designer is on this one. Let's flip it over and take a look. The designer is, well, the system is, so it's using the same basic core rules. Nicola Contardi and Luigi Parmigiani, there's an Italian name for you, are the system designers. And then Nicola Contardi did the research and map design. Sergio Schiavi is the map artist. And yeah, so you can see here that on their 1 to 5 complexity scale, it is a 4. Here's a look at some of the counters in the map. This is, I like this copy, come back with us to the time of huge charges of cavalrymen with their magnificent and gliding armors, the fearless advance of the immense Swiss squares, heroism, and tragedies of the longest and bloodiest sieges. So it looks like this is going to be, this is in, let's see. Okay, so El Gran Capitan is in reference to a guy with a really long name. Well, I'm not very familiar with it, from who lived in 1453 to 1515. One of the greatest military leaders of all times. He was the first man in the Renaissance era with a strategic view of military affairs. Oh, it's Cordoba. That's who it is. Cordoba y Enriquez de Aguilar. So yeah, so this game is actually a prequel to the first game in the series, and it says the main scenarios being the campaigns fought at the turn of the 15th and 16th centuries between France and Spain for the predominance of southern Italy. We will, let's see. Looks like it might take place. Okay, here we go. The scenarios. We've got Otranto, Ferrandino's War, the fight for the Kingdom of Naples, Lautrec's Last Chance, and the Crusade of Charles VIII, a what-if scenario. So a nice mix of scenarios from various eras, various years in this part of it. It looks like all southern Italy. Let's take a look inside the box, because I know that's what you're really here for, not to listen to me prattle. Let's get it open. There we go. El Gran Capitan. Really nice box. ES's production values are increasing every time. Looks like we've got some cards here, some display cards that show the different people. These are like on a paper, almost. Yeah, these are like a almost construction paper material. We've got Pinheiro and Alfonso di Calabria, Sabec, Imperial Minor. Not sure what these are for. It looks like who they're subordinate to, whether they're unemployed. Not sure what the tracks are for. I don't know too much about. Here's Montpensier. He would be a recognizable face in France from the Wars of Religion, if it's the same one. So interesting. So some cards for the different lords. We got some baggies here, presumably for counters, although I will probably counter tray this. This is really cool. I just wanted to point this out. This game was proudly made in Italy. Here at ES, we are very keen on reducing the ecological footprint of our products as much as possible, minimizing the use of non-recyclable plastic, and at the same time supporting the use of recyclable materials. This is excellent. I wish more wargame companies would think like this. I know GMT doesn't use styrofoam for their packing peanuts, which is great. I know OSG doesn't wrap their games in plastic. So anytime I see sort of sustainability stuff in wargames, I'm a big fan of that. We do get a die, one red and gold die. We get a rule book. This rule book is, ooh, this is beefy. Look at this. How many total pages we got here? I wonder if The historical notes are in here. Yeah, the historical notes and the scenarios come all the way back here to page 43. The rules are going to end at, let's see. Yeah, it's a pretty big book. So that's the scenario. Looks like the rules are about 32 pages. So, and these are optional rules. So without the optional rules, it's about 26 pages, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good size for a tactical game. It is done in the same style as some of their more recent releases with a nice quality paper. Not a lot of illustrations, so there's a lot of text in here, although you do get full color counter illustrations. Yeah. So, you know, not the simplest game to get into. Here are the counters. I really do like ES's color palettes that they use. Quite nice. Looks like markers here. Here you can see some what would appear to be Muslim units. Siege levels. And then here's the main counter sheet. It's upside down. Here is Charles, Montpensier, Lautrec, Aubigny. That's French. These appear to be Italian, perhaps. Here are the Spanish, or the Neapolitans, perhaps. Swiss. Conquered markers. Very curious about this game. They usually do really good setup charts, and this is no exception. Here's the setup chart. Okay, so this is not tactical. This is actually more sort of like operational, it looks like, because you've got the entire boot of Italy in there. You've got the Scenario 3 setup where all of the markers go. I do really like their setup sheets. Here's Scenario 2. Really big view of the Southern Italian Wars. Player aid, artillery fire, cavalry charge, terrain effects, all the stuff that you would expect. We've got unit type effect summary, so what infantry with firearms can do in different combats. Landsknechts, use of administrative points. Here is a unit chart to show you all the different types of units. Here's a turn record track, what year you're playing, what scenario. Neat. The weather table. On the back, we've got major battle play aid, so telling you how to conduct a battle, which looks pretty involved. That's quite interesting. This is very, very interesting game to me. I think this is why I pre-ordered it. The attrition table, tactical options chart for the optional rules around major battles. On the back of this, administrative points, orders, initiative modifier. And then we've got a second one of those. Oh, this is, yeah, discipline and pursuit. I would have maybe liked to have seen some of these as foldouts. The assault table, because there's a lot of information. There's only one copy of each. Here's the battle roster. It looks like you can put your units inside the fortress or outside to see who's besieging it. Major battle. And then here is the battle roster for the optional rule, which looks like you can play up the battles tactically, which is kind of neat. I'm really curious to dig into this. And then finally the map, which is gorgeous. Just absolutely beautiful. Let me see if I can get it open one-handed. What a wonderful... the paper is really nice. I love the little details in the ocean and the fonts. Here is Italy. North is this direction. South, down here to the boot. Calabria. There's Reggio. Otranto, back up here. Bari. So just really gorgeous. And can't wait to get this one to the table. Here's Capua, different fortresses. Looks like there's like a control of province markers, fields for markers and what have you. So yeah, eagerly looking forward to playing this. Really nice production from ES. And yeah, that's El Gran Capitan, shipping now from Italy.